Good afternoon and welcome to Port St. Lucie. This is Professor Tefero for Lesson 10 of Introduction to Indian History. In our last lesson, we went over the first 100 years or so effect of the UK on India. And now we're going to cover later UK dominance of India. They actually took over the government in the 1850s. So you will see a 100-year rule of India by the UK and a independence movement that also lasts about 100 years, often unsuccessful, often bloody, but never unified, which is the number one problem. The independence movement in India was never unified until Gandhi unified the movements of the other groups of independence seekers in India. He unified the Jainists, he unified the Buddhists, and he unified the people who were Muslim. And so he got a large enough majority to get all three groups together to form a passive resistant movement towards the British. And his moves were successful eventually. Until then, the British dominated India, and it was only through the efforts of World War II that Britain became desperate against the Japanese in World War II. They said, "Oh, please help us." And India said, "Why should we help you? We want to be independent. We're not going to help you. If we help you, then you'll dominate us after World War II." And then Britain finally came to the conclusion if they wanted the cooperation of India during the long, hard war against the Japanese, they were going to have to make concessions. And that concession is Indian independence, nothing less. So they said, well, we will give you more autonomy. We will not rule India. We will let Indians rule India under the crown of the Dominion of England. And it was, since that was the best deal that India could get at the time, they agreed to it. And so at the end of World War II, India was allowed to basically rule itself rather than have an empress or a king or a British representative ruling India. However, the writing was on the wall already. They had given India a taste of freedom, and now they wanted complete freedom. And that's when Gandhi stepped in, organized a passive resistant movement, and this was the last straw on the camel's back, and it broke the British resistance to Indian independence. And while Gandhi was instrumental in getting independence for India, he wasn't able to unite all of India without making deals himself. He also had to make a deal. And the deal he made was with two Muslim leaders, Jinnah and Assad, who said, if we support you to get rid of the British, then you will have to support us in having a new homeland for Indians who believe in Muslim belief system. And that would be Pakistan, the creation of Pakistan. And while this was very distasteful to Gandhi personally as a Hindu, he agreed to it because it was the lesser of two evils. He said, well, let's see, I can either have an India with England running India and all of us can suffer together, or we can get rid of England, have an independent India and an independent Pakistan for the Muslims. So he said, well, that's the lesser of two evils. We'll do that. You can have Pakistan. And that agreement led to the partitioning of India after 1949. Until next time, this is Professor Tefero from Port St. Lucie, wishing you all a happy and healthy night. Take care. Bye-bye.